Hello everyone, my name is Tarkik Khatu. I finished my master's in AIHC and Archaeology from Deccan College, Pune, and this topic was my dissertation topic. I did the study under the guidance of Dr. Amrita Sarkar. So my topic is a study of petroglyphs in Lanja Tehsil, district Ratnagiri. So what exactly is a petroglyph? The petroglyph in Konkan is a type of rock art produced on the horizontal surface of the earth by reduction technique, that is carving out or removing part of rock surface to form a design, similar to Nazca lines Peru. As we all know, Nazca lines in Peru are a really famous and worldwide known geoglyphs. On the similar side, the petroglyphs in Konkan has huge potential to uncover different aspects of past life. So rock art provides information about the past and the richness of human culture. It also shows the relationship between human culture and the natural environment. Therefore, a study of newly discovered Konkan petroglyphs is crucial. Aims and objectives of this study. The primary aim of my study was to understand the distribution of the rock art sites in the proposed region. Methodological documentation was a key aspect of this study. I also understood and studied the geological and geomorphological formations in the region. Then to study the salient characteristics, line drawings, and nature of the explored rock art by using various digital platforms like illustration, Adobe Photoshop, Google Earth, etc. Uh, Another aim was to compile and create an archive, as the region is under constant threat of destruction due to high mining activities. This database can be utilized for conducting further rock art research. I'll talk about a little bit about my study area. So as you all know, the Konkan is 720-kilometer coastal belt of Maharashtra consisting districts of Mumbai, Palghar, Thane, Raigad, Ratnagiri, and Sindhudurga. Lanja Tehsil lies in southeast part of Ratnagiri district and is surrounded by Sangameshwar, Ratnagiri, and other tehsils. The rock art is dominated in the Ratnagiri district and Sindhudurga districts, which are known as the South Konkan. The rock art sites are found in the west part of this particular Lanja Tehsil, which are denoted by the names of the villages. As you can see, the Kot, then Bade, then Rud, and the other is Katalgaon Zavde. So all these engravings are done on the lateritic surface. So we'll just little bit get to know about talk about the lateritic formation. All the engravings in Lanja Tehsil are found on the lateritic surface. The laterite plateau that occupies most of the area here are of secondary nature, formed due to the lateritic material brought down from Sahyadri hill ranges. They are broad, compact, and undulating. The belt of laterite in the Lanja Tehsil had spread from north to south, dominating the western part of Tehsil. So we don't find any lateritic stone as such in the eastern part, but it's totally dominating the western side near towards the coast. And hence all the engravings in this particular tehsil are found on the lateritic stone, which are in the western part of the tehsil. In previous works, so in 2018, Dr. Garge, Dr. Kulkarni, Mr. Apte, Mr. Trisbud has published an important paper which was titled as Petroglyphs in Konkan, Historiography, Recent Discoveries, and Further Endeavors in the Journal of Pulakla. Dr. Garge, along with Mr. Apte and Mr. Trisbud, has published another paper in 2023 entitled Animals in Petroglyphs. So few sites in Lanja Tehsil were only reported but not systematically studied previously in the paper of 2018 by Dr. Garge and team. Mr. Sudhir Risbud and Nisargayatri NGO along with Dr. Surendra Thakur Desai and Mr. Dhananjay Marathe has working enormously in Ratnagiri to create awareness to preserve all these petroglyphs in Konkan. So on the basis of the form and the nature of the engravings, these petroglyphs are classified into two main types. Those are figurative engravings and non-figurative engravings. These two types are further classified into these 6 categories. Those are terrestrial animals, anthropomorphic figures, birds, amphibious animals, abstract or symbolic figures, and aquatic animals. So now we'll look at the site-wise distribution of rock art in the study area. The village Kot is located in the western part of the tehsil. It is around 25 kilometers away from Lanja and 45 kilometers away from Ratnagiri. The site is an open air site and is situated on the lateritic plateau. It is about 180 meters above from the sea level. In total, 13 different engravings are recorded from which include different types. Also, a rock shelter is also reported and discovered in the proximity of the site. So now we look at some examples from each site. So this is an Indian bison or gaur engraving at the site of Kot. You can see the dimensions 7.4 meters into 5 meters. This engraving is so enormous. Again, the anatomical features like horns, legs, tail, everything is clearly depicted. So therefore, we can identify it as an Indian bison. The next figure is a square relief pattern. This figure includes basically four different quadrants, and each quadrant includes a very intricate kind of engraving. Such square relief patterns can be found throughout the Konkan petroglyphs. This particular square relief pattern is, you can see the dimension 6.9 meters into 6.8 meters. It is classified into abstract or symbolic figures. A giant bird is also discovered at this site. You can see the dimension, it's 5.4 meters and 2.2 meters. The crest is prominently shown here, and the tail is shown in the zigzag pattern. There is this another engraving inside it, which could be of a fish, but I personally am not sure about it, so I won't comment anything directly. The next figure is an anthropomorphic figure. This is again an interesting figure which has both anthropomorphic and abstract phenomena. As you can see, this particular part is a symbol. It's sort of kind of some symbol, and again the geometry and symmetry is followed in each and every engraving. The next figure is a pair of birds. This is really a very small engraving found at this side. It's just 60 centimeter into 50 centimeter. It feels like both of the birds are holding each other's hand. The next figure is of a fish. You can see the dimensions. It's again a small engraving, 90 centimeters into 60 centimeters. Again, a bird engraving is found at this side. The head part is shown. Then the leg is again prominently shown, and you can see the tail part is again in the zigzag pattern. These two animals are engraved at the site of Kot. This could be of a fox by looking at the anatomical features, and this could be of a mongoose. So the dimensions of both of the images are given: 2 meters into 80 centimeters and 1.3 meters into 45 centimeters. So overall, the site of Kot holds very diverse style of depictions. The birds particularly are engraved in a similar type. And one more interesting thing is the human engraving is not yet reported from the site. So we'll move to the next site, site Bade. Bade village lies in west part of the Tehsil. It is 33 kilometers away from Lanja and 34 kilometers away from Ratnagiri. The site is an open air site, and it is 160-170 meter above from the sea level. The petroglyphs are mainly found in two parts of the village Bade. The first one is petroglyph complex at Vaprat Wadi Katar, and the second part is known as Laugan Fata. So both are located on the same lateritic plateau, but on different locations. That's why the villagers call it as a different places. So which is locally known as Sada. So lateritic plateau in Marathi is known as Sada. In total, 20 plus engravings have been discovered at the site. It includes again different faunal depiction, and animals are there, and some human engravings are also there. So this is an interesting example of a fox or a squirrel. You can see the elongated tail. The dimensions are also shown. This particular engraving is 90 centimeter into 48 centimeter. Next is an human engraving. Human engraving is depicted here. You can see the dimension. This figure is 2.26 meters into 80 centimeters. An outline of human body is engraved, and this figure is currently in the verge of extinction because of the erosion. The erosion is continuously happening. So by documenting this figure, we can now really identify some of the features of this figure. Next, again, is a fish. An interesting engraving of fish is seen at the site of Bade. The dimensions are shown 2.10 meters into 77 centimeters. A fish and Gopadma-like engraving. So in usually in generally in Konkan geoglyphs, we see this particular motif or engraving of that resembles to the footprint of cow, which is by many scholars they recognize it as a Gopadma. They call it as a Gopadma. So this Gopadma like engraving is also found at the site of Bade. It is 50 centimeter into 40 centimeter, and next to it it's a fish engraving here, which is 57 centimeter into 15 centimeter in size. The next group of engravings you can see is again the Gopadma like engravings are found at the site of Bade. All the engravings are of different sizes, but they are engraved in a cluster together at a place. You can see the different types and different style of engravings of each of the Gopadma here. Again, a big giant, gigantic human engraving is seen at the site of Bade. This particular figure is locally known as Kaunya. You can see the dimensions. The human figure is 4.20 meters into 1.56 meters. Again, the prominent feature here of this particular figure is the presence of headgear. We really don't see any extra or any related any other evidence or the depiction in Konkan geoglyphs, but this is one headgear is particularly found at this site. Again, this figure has 4 toes and not 5 toes, and 4 fingers, and I mean only 4 fingers are shown. We'll move to the next figure. This is a depiction of tortoise or turtle. You can see the outline. The illustration is also done here. The dimensions are 60 centimeter into 50 centimeter. Again, this interesting figure of pair of legs is seen at the side. The dimensions are 1.10 meters into 95 centimeters. According to some scholars, they relate this particular engraving to the Matruka image, but the further, the more research is required to particularly relate any of this figure to the other kind of rock art or other sculpture. This image shows how the vegetation covers a particular engraving. There is a figure of a square relief pattern is hidden inside this grass. So we need to, always be aware and for looking at such different engravings. So the next site, so this Bade site also has diverse amount of depictions. We can see different fauna, there are different abstract or symbolic figures, and again some important and interesting human figures are also engraved at this site. The next site is Site Room. The village Roon is situated in the southwest of the Tehsil. It is 30 kilometers away from Lanja and 58 kilometers away from Ratnagiri. The petroglyph site is situated on the plateau, which is known as Zakadevi's Sada in the village, as the temple of Zakadevi is situated on the plateau. The site is an open air site and it is 180 meters above from the sea level. The site is diverse with abstract figures, aquatic animals, bird figures, as well as different animal figures. Human figure has not yet seen or reported from this site. In total, 12 engravings have been documented from this site. You can see a depiction of pangolin. The dimensions are 62 centimeters into 59 centimeters. Then this abstract engraving is here, which is a combination of a fish tail and a hand. Then again, animal with long tail. The dimensions are 45 centimeter into 25 centimeter. Peacock is also engraved at this site. You can see the crest and this beautiful big tail. The legs are also shown. The abstract engraving along with the snake. So again, this different type of abstract engraving is recorded at the site of Rune. An anthropomorphic pattern or design is engraved inside this particular engraving, and a snake is engraved here. So the dimensions of this figure are 1.71 meters into 1.2 meters. This is a general view of how and a petroglyph site looks. So we can see these kind of petroglyphs on the lateritic surface. I've used the natural ash to mark the outline of each engraving. So the fourth site is site Katagaon Zavde. Katagaon Zavde is situated in the western part of Tehsil. It is 29 kilometers away from Lanja and 51 kilometers away from Ratnagiri. The site is an open air site situated on the lateritic plateau, and the elevation from sea level is about 180 meters. So the few rock cut caves of Shaivite and Vaishnavite affiliation are also present in the proximity of petroglyphs. Professor Kopa Zoge from Deccan College is working on them. Two figures are discovered here, which include a human figure and a square relief pattern. So we'll look at those figures now. This is the human depiction. I'm sleeping here as a scale. I'm lying on the ground to get the idea of how the depiction is present at the site. You can see again this figure is also eroded because of human actions. Right above this figure, you can see the laterite mining was there, and because of that, a lot of destruction to this particular engraving has been done. Again, due to the vegetation, this square relief pattern is not visible. So therefore, I haven't taken the dimensions of this particular engraving. So all in all these four sites show the diversity of the fauna depictions and the abstract patterns and human figures also. So now we'll look at the next aspect of the study area, that is rock shelters. So rock shelters are significant to understand prehistoric activities of any region. Koloshi cave in Sindhudurga has been excavated by State Archaeology Department of Maharashtra and have yielded stone tools from different layers. On this backdrop, two rock shelters have been reported from the study area, which hold great potential for further research. Rock shelter 1 is Coat, and which is located in village Coat, and rock shelter 2 is Saputsetare, which is again, as you can see here, is located in the village Saputsetare. So it is situated at the site of Coat in the Lanja Tehsil. It is formed in a lateritic stone due to the cavity. It is approximately 50 to 80 feet long and 20 feet deep. The shelter is presently used by animal herders for different storage activities. It is surrounded by high vegetation. The nearby trees and the roots are causing high erosion. The sediment deposition can be seen here, but needs to be tested. Then the next rock shelter is at Sapusatwe, which lies on the western boundary of Lanja Tehsil. This village is also known as Vadilimbu. The shelter is a deep cavity in laterite that is around 100 feet in length and 10 feet in depth. It is currently in the middle of laterite mining site. The sediment is deposited and well preserved naturally, but again, this sediment is also needs to be tested. So the discussion and conclusion: the diverse rock art sites in the region hold immense significance in unraveling different aspects of prehistoric times. Any depiction of domestic animals like bull, dog, or other pet is not yet reported from the study area. Further studies required to understand the chronology of these petroglyphs. The representation of rhinoceros at Tavedevud in Ratnagiri Tehsil is very crucial, as it is now extinct in the area, but is existed in the Deccan region as late as Chalcolithic period. I took this reference from the paper of Dr. Tejas Gargi in 2018. So Again, the different approaches like ethnoarchaeology, comparative studies of rock art, and scientific analysis are necessary in the region to understand the geology as well as to interpret these engravings. So thank you. I would like to thank everyone uh, for listening this presentation. If you have any queries, if you want to tell anything, you can contact me on this email address and this phone number. This was a kind of a very basic study that I've done in this area. I would like to also do some advanced studies in future. Thank you. Thank you very much.